#Arsenal vs Atletico Madrid and semi-final. Nan key moments. UEFA Champions League 2026 Bukayo Saka. The Emirates Stadium erupting. Arsenal, for only the second time in their entire history, are in the UEFA Champions League final. The final score on the night, Arsenal 1-0 at Atletico Madrid. On aggregate, Arsenal 2-1 at Atletico Madrid. And just like that, Mikel Arteta leads his squad to Budapest for the 2026 Champions League final. This was not just a football match. This was 90 minutes of pressure, nerves, brilliance and chaos, and Arsenal came through every single second of it. Let's go back to the beginning. Arsenal came into this second leg with a 1-1 aggregate scoreline from the first leg. One goal from Atletico Madrid would flip the tie completely. One goal from Arsenal and Simeone's side would need two. The stakes could not have been higher, and the atmosphere inside the Emirates from minute one made absolutely sure every player on that pitch felt it. Atletico Madrid kicked off and wasted no time. Antoine Griezmann dropped deep immediately, pulling Arsenal's midfield out of shape, while Julian Alvarez made sharp, intelligent runs in behind the defensive line. The Griezmann-Alvarez combination was exactly the threat Arsenal had prepared for. Fast, clever, and ruthless when given space. Early on, Julen Simeone fed the ball through to Alvarez, and Arsenal's backline was scrambling. David Raya survived the opening exchanges. But it was a warning. Miles Lewis-Skelly, operating at left back, looked nervy in those early minutes. Alvarez was hunting him specifically, testing him, pressing him, making his life uncomfortable. But Arsenal are not a side that crumbles under early pressure. They absorbed it, reorganized, and began to grow. By the midpoint of the first half, Leandro Trossard and Victor Gyökeres were finding combinations in tight spaces. Martin Odegaard was threading passes into dangerous areas, and Jan Oblak was being forced off his line. The crowd was lifting Arsenal with every touch, and you could feel the momentum shifting inside that stadium. Then came the moment that changed everything. 45 plus 1 minutes. Last minute of the first half. The Emirates held its breath. Gyökeres received the ball under pressure, kept his composure, and held it up brilliantly. No panic, no rush. The ball moved to Trossard, who released it quickly. And then Bukayo Saka, arriving at exactly the right moment, in exactly the right place. He got his shot away, Oblak got a hand to it, but Saka was first to the rebound and tucked it home. Arsenal 1-0 Atletico Madrid on the night. 2-1 on aggregate. As Arteta said post-match, "It's an amazing night. To live this kind of moment with our people is an incredible feeling." Atletico Madrid now needed 2 goals. Diego Simeone's entire game plan had just been turned upside down in the final seconds of the first half. At the break, the numbers told an interesting story. Arsenal had been defensively compact all evening, with their pressing triggers working well, and Lewis-Skelly growing in confidence as the half went on. For Atletico, the issue was clear. Griezmann had not received enough quality service in the final third, and Alvarez had been too isolated to consistently threaten. Simeone needed answers, and he needed them fast. The second half opened with Atletico visibly more aggressive. Simeone made his key changes at 67 minutes, introducing Lex Baena and Thiago Almada, more direct, more creative, designed to break Arsenal down in wide areas. Suddenly, Arsenal's backline had a lot more to deal with. Llorente was getting forward from right back. Baena was driving at defenders, and Alexander Siloth, the big Swedish striker, was making his physical presence felt in the box. Raya was forced into a crucial tip over from Siloth. If that goes in, the Emirates goes silent. It didn't, but the warning was loud and clear. And then came the defining moment of the entire tie. 66 minutes. Hincapi drove forward down the left at pace, receiving a beautifully weighted pass from D-Guard, yes, from D-Guard, and whipped in a first-time cross into the center. Victor Gyökeres arrived at the penalty spot with perfect timing and cleared the crossbar by inches. He had to score. He knew it. The entire stadium knew it. And he reacted by covering his mouth, but not in his trademark celebration. In pure, silent disbelief, in a different version of this story, that goal goes in. This tie is level, and everything changes. But it didn't go in. And Arsenal lived to fight on. William Saliba and Gabriel were exceptional in the heart of Arsenal's defense throughout, commanding in the air, composed on the ball, and dominant in every aerial duel. These two have been the foundation of everything Arsenal have built this season. Saliba intercepted a dangerous Oblak long ball in the 79th minute that could have released Sørloth in behind. A crucial, quiet moment that doesn't make highlights, but absolutely wins games. Miles Lewis Skelly was eventually replaced by Zubimendi at 74 minutes. But by that point, the young defender had played his part in a big European night and received a warm ovation from the Emirates faithful as he left the pitch. The clock was ticking. Raya was booked for time wasting. Arteta himself was booked for excessive touchline drama. The rain came down. The tension was unbearable. And then full-time chaos. Koke was booked for nudging Martinelli toward the Arsenal bench. Calafiori was booked. Both benches emptied. It was raw, emotional, end-of-season madness. And then the final whistle came. Arsenal 1-0 Atletico Madrid. 2-1 on aggregate. Done. Finished. Over now for the performances. Bukayo Saka was the match winner. Clinical, alert and decisive in the highest pressure moment of the season. Victor Gyökeres was extraordinary in terms of work rate and hold-up play. Arteta said it himself. He was immense. His work rate was just incredible. He was the first to set the tone, the rhythm. William Saliba was commanding from first minute to last, barely put a foot wrong all night. Trossard played a key role in the build-up to the goal and worked tirelessly for 84 minutes before being replaced by Martinelli, receiving the ovation he fully deserved. Griezmann was dangerous throughout for Atletico, but could never find that killer final ball when it mattered most. Declan Rice summed up the dressing room perfectly post-match. It is chaos in the dressing room, the most prestigious tournament in club football. Once we went 1-0 up, I knew we was going to win. Now let's zoom out, because the bigger picture here is enormous. Arsenal are undefeated in this year's Champions League tournament. They have not conceded a single open play goal in the entire knockout phase. They have only lost 2 of their last 24 Champions League matches. And earlier this season, they beat Bayern Munich 3-1 in the league phase back in November. These are not the statistics of a team that is simply grateful to be in a final. The 2026 Champions League final takes place on Saturday 30 May in Budapest, where Arsenal will face either Paris Saint-Germain or Bayern Munich. And while the final looms large, Arsenal cannot afford to look past the next 3 Premier League fixtures: West Ham, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. 3 wins, and they are guaranteed their first Premier League title in 22 years. Saka put it best after the final whistle: "It's a beautiful story, and I hope it ends well in Budapest." From that goal, to those celebrations, to Arteta sprinting toward the fans at full time, this was a night that Arsenal supporters will carry with them for the rest of their lives. And if this team continues on this trajectory, Budapest might just be the beginning.